Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Good evening. Hello. I'm Latasha McDonald, your local real estate expert here in Tallahassee, Florida. How are you? Hi, Simply Telly. Hello. So, it's Saturday night, right? So, of course, I don't work on the weekends. However, I still do research on the weekends. So, I'm sitting here. Thank you for the rose, baby. Go Boss Creations. I'm going to assume that you're from Louisiana based upon the way how you spell go. But so am I from Louisiana. But since I don't work on weekends, I do work on weekends, but I don't take calls on the weekend. But I do research. So I was sitting here and I was thinking and I was researching closing costs, right? And closing cost assistance programs. Well, I've already taught you guys about the National Home Buyers Fund. You know about that. But have y'all ever thought to ask the lender? Have you ever thought to ask the lenders? Yeah, because I'm from New Orleans, so like everybody in my family's title is like go get a go be it. I'm the only one who doesn't have a go in it. I guess I'm unusual in that fashion. But have y'all ever thought about asking the lender? Like really? So, oh, okay. So, what, the same as again? Where you went? Okay, moving on. So, have you ever thought about that? Like the lender can actually take care of your closing cost fees one of two ways, right? They can roll your lender fees, they can roll your closing costs into the loan. That's option number one. Or they can absorb it as lender credit. Did you guys know that? Like, you're paying the lender all of this money, right? They are going to get so many thousands of dollars. Hold on, son. Don't you want some nachos? Think about it. They're getting thousands of dollars in interest in you, right? Or from you over the course of your loan. So you can't help a sister out. You can't at least cover some of it as a lender's credit. Like, don't get me wrong, lenders do give credit. I'm not saying that they don't do lenders' credit, but the lender's credit might not be like a significant amount. But yeah, you can get a lender's credit that will help you with your closing costs. Or, like I said, they can roll the closing costs into the loan. But they're not going to really offer to say, hey, Jim, let me go ahead and help y'all on these closing costs. No. But it's okay for you, Jim, to ask them, hey, Karen or Keisha, can you hook a sister up with those closing costs? I mean, you're only going to make a couple of $1,000s off me over the next 15 to 30 years. It's the least you can do. That's the least you can do. Yeah, I do everything. I mean, if you're going to be a realtor, you might as well be full service, right? If you're going to be a real estate agent, you got to be a full service real estate agent. It makes absolutely no sense to me when I became an agent for me to tell a potential client, oh, I can't help you because you're not pre-approved because your score isn't right? So it made perfect sense for me to get my credit skill set to be able to help people to get the credit, to be able to get a loan. So then you see this circle? Make it make sense. But nevertheless, that's how that works. So you guys do have that as an option, that you can ask them. You can either schedule an appointment with me or you can send me an email. But it's probably better to schedule an appointment where you get my undivided attention. But do I have created Airbnb? Actually, yes. I think I have it for free in my group on how to go about creating an Airbnb. It's have the instructions. I think I have it free in my group. If you don't find it in my group, you can also find it as an item you can purchase by hitting the link in my bio. But I do have information on how to do that. Yes, I assess people outside of my area. That kind of loan. What kind of loan? Oh, maybe my loan in the backyard. Well, you know what you can do is, I thought you meant like how to start an Airbnb and all that stuff, or how to get a rental and then turn the rental into an Airbnb. I thought that's what you was asking me. But now, how to get a loan for that? If you're wanting to like build, you can. If you have equity in your home, you can always do a home equity line of credit, or you could do a refi, or you may be eligible for a FHA 203K loan. What part of New Orleans I'm from? I grew up in the Lower Ninth Ward, Galveston, Delaware. I grew up in the last street in the city. The end of the bus line. That's where I grew up. I grew up in the lower 9. Not just the 9th Ward, the lower 9. Right before it became Airbnb. But yeah, so hi Greg. But you guys can use you can ask for the lender to give you a lender's credit for your closing costs. And you can, ask for it to be rolled up into your loan. You can ask for that. Hey Pooh, how are you? So just some things that, that you may not have thought about before. Happy Saturday, babe. These are ways that can help you get into your home. Right? If you're going broke to get in the house, that means you have to get in the house and be broke. That's not what we want. Oh, I was saying about closing costs. You can ask the lender to give you credit, a lender's credit to help cover the cost of some of your closing costs, or you can ask them to roll your closing costs up into your loan. Right? Now, I can't promise you they're going to say yes, but it is an available option. I can't promise you they're going to say yes. I was brought to the East too. I was brought to the East when I was like about 15. And I graduated from St. Mary's Academy. But let's see. What else I want to tell you guys about? Also, there are different alternative mortgage programs for my email is in my bio. There are different alternative programs. For example, I talk about NACA all the time. In addition to the NACA program, there's also different types of programs out there besides FHA, USDA, and things of that nature. Yeah, this has nothing to do with your down payment assistance program. The question is, do I think it's advantageous if you are getting down payment assistance? Yes. Yes. Of course. But you can also get, different types of mortgages. You can get a mortgage acceleration, which I don't think you should do. To be part of the NACA program, is membership required? Yes, it is. But, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say congratulations on closing on your home. Did you know your address was about to change? Yes. But it's really, I just was thinking as I was researching that, I may have mentioned it 1 or 2 times in the past, but I hadn't consistently said the different options that you can use for closing cost assistance. So I just wanted to just pop in real quick and let you guys know, hey, did you know that? Or did you think about that? Because a lot of times I might think that it's general knowledge for something, and it might not be general knowledge. I've learned that a lot recently. Oh, can you guys do me a favor? Can you tap on the screen and let everyone know that I am live? It's a very rare occasion to be going live on a Saturday night. Very rare. Thank y'all. So, since we're here, we're talking about closing costs. Now, not to keep beating you over your head, but beat. So, we do know about the National Home Buyers Fund. That is a grant. If it's done as a grant meaning you do not have to pay it back. Okay, so there's a difference between down payment assistance and a grant. So if in the event that it has not been explained to you, the down payment assistance typically is a second mortgage. And if in the event that the second mortgage requires for you to be in the home for a certain amount of time, then if you do not stay that length of time, you will have to pay that back. Or if you decide to rent the property, you do have to pay it back. So whether you sell the property or rent it, you do have to pay back down payment assistance program if it is an assistance program, which is also known as a second mortgage. That's what they mean when they're talking about a second mortgage. Also, please also understand that if it's saying it's a grant, hi babes, if it says it is a grant by definition means you don't have to pay it back. It's free dinero. Yes, it turns into a balloon payment. So let's say, for example, I get down payment assistance program and they say I have to stay in the home 10 years. And after 5 years, which is the standard amount of time people tend to upgrade or downgrade, I decide I want to sell a house or I want to make an investment property. Well, guess what? Whomever program said I had to have 10 years. Excuse me. They may have given me 10 G's up front, like here in Florida, Texas, and Georgia. There's the bond money. They may have given me like 10 G's towards my down payment assistance, and I decide I want to up and move out the house. I would decide I want to sell it, or I decide that I want to rent it out. I got to pay them people their money back because I didn't hold up to my end of the commitment. Right? So I got to do my part. I live in Florida. May I purchase an investment property through NACA as? No, you cannot purchase as an LLC. It has to be, yes, some programs will prorate, not all. For NACA, it has to be an individual. It cannot be a business. Now, if you are a business and you are attempting to purchase property, I would strongly suggest you look into USDA. With the USDA loan, if you are for profit, you would only have to put 10% down. If you're nonprofit, you'd only have to put 3% down. So I would suggest that you look at the USDA loans. Please keep in mind that I hear a lot of other realtors talking about the USDA loans here on TikTok, but please keep in mind that with the USDA, I have hair in my eyelash. Okay. With the USDA loan, it is based upon your location, right? Or the location of the property, correction. So if you're wanting to purchase property, it has to be in USDA territory. So keep that in mind. But now also, when you're thinking about, if you're thinking about purchasing property for your business, right? Don't forget there's a different type of commercial lending for that. Okay? There's a stark difference between residential and commercial. If you do a Airbnb one room and continue to live in the home, are you still subject to repayment of the rent? No, because you're still the home is still your primary residence. That's the caveat. The home has to be your primary residence. So if it's still your primary residence, I don't get, I'm not gonna say that, but it's still your primary residence, right? So now, don't forget that you can purchase up to 4 units, right? So don't forget that. You are required, with NACA program, there is a time restriction, which you do have to stay in the home. But let's keep in mind this too. It's a balancing act. You can't expect to get all these things for free and not have something you have to be obligated to on the back end, right? Yo, that's America. Come on. You're not going to get all of nothing for free. and not have some kind of obligation. Now, the purpose of the obligation, even when it comes down to second mortgages, aka down payment assistance programs, it's for the sole purpose of trying to keep the real estate industry going, and also to bring value to particular locations and areas, right? So the home ownership is the goal, to keep you being a homeowner. How long do you have to wait to purchase through your business after you purchase your home? You don't have to wait, because remember, when it comes down to your business and it comes down to you, you're considered two separate entities. By law, your business is a separate entity, completely separate from you. Now, if in the event that you have mixed up your business credit with your personal, then that's the horse of a whole different hue. But when you have a business, you should build your business credit based only upon your business, and not using yourself as the guarantor. What's a great down payment to purchase a home? Your down payment is going to really depend upon what the cost of the home is. So if, for example, if you're purchasing with an FHA, then it's going to be 3.5% of whatever the home is, whatever the cost of the home is. If you're purchasing with conventional, that can be anywhere from 3 to 5% of whatever the cost of the home is. So it kind of varies. You don't know how to do that? Well, Katie loves Montrelis. I'm sure I murdered that name. I have a TikTok about establishing business credit. What about your Duns and Bradstreet number? What about that D&B? How long would I have to wait to get a loan for a second home after I refinance my first? Depending upon your credit, not long at all. Like, I just have a client who refied, and she used the money from the refi we're using that to put on a down payment on her a condo that she's purchased, not condo, a townhome that she's purchasing for to Airbnb it. So it really depends on your credit. You have an EIN number, business account. Okay, so you need an EIN number, your business account. You need a D&B, which is Duns and Bradstreet, and you also need to start establishing your credit if you haven't already done so in net 30s. But I have a detailed TikTok about that, and if you're wanting one-on-one time to talk about how to establish a business credit, that link is in my bio to schedule an appointment. Oh, so that's exactly what you want to do. You want to refi and use the money from the refi to purchase a townhome or additional property, so you can make it an Airbnb. Yeah, that's exactly what she's doing. So she refied 1 week, and actually she had applied for her refi, gotten the approval, and the same like a few days or so, and not even a full 7 days or so, she got her pre-approval for to purchase the second property. So that's how she's doing it. Yeah. Sometimes it's kind of hard for me to I'm having multiple conversations, so it's kind of hard for me to just keep the track, because it's not I'll get all of one person's statement and all of other person's statements. So it's kind of hard, so bear with me. Grants.gov. If you're looking for a grant, yeah, you can go to grants.gov. That's exactly where all federal grants are housed, at grant.gov. Now, different organizations and different companies, they have grants, right? So that's where you're going to find all the federal grants, at grant.gov. But there are different organizations and different companies that offers grants depending upon, what the situation is. Like, for example, there may be a company that, specialize in home repair. Like, if they may have some type of grant program. So you would have to investigate with each individual company. Like, for example, L'Oreal, like the makeup company, they might have a small business grant, especially for women, or for people, depending upon what it is. So each different place you would need to look into different organizations and different companies for different grants. And on Etsy has a lot of different sellers who sell like directories on grants. But if you're wanting a federal grant, that's going to be the place, grant.gov. Can you guys do me a favor and tap again for me on the screen? And for those who are just arriving, I'm Latasha McDowell, your local real estate expert here in Tallahassee, Florida, also aka a real estate coach. So I was popping in to talk about different options as far as closing cost assistance programs. And one of the options for us closing cost assistance, besides trying to get a grant for your closing cost assistance, in case you were unaware, your lender does have the ability to give lender credits, which will absorb or at least considerably decrease the amount of your closing costs, as well as they can possibly roll the closing costs up into the loan for you, right? I would say ask them. They're going to be getting your interest for a very long time. I don't see logically, I don't understand why it would be a challenge to give you some change up front to help you get into it. You didn't see my email in the bio. My email is my name, Latasha McDowell at kwforkellerwilliams.com. How can I take an LLC, or do you mean how can you make an LLC? If you mean how can you make an LLC with the anticipation of using your LLC to purchase property, the first step is to Google, and this is going to sound crazy, but I promise you it's the truth. Google how to create an LLC in your state, right? Most people want to pay LegalZoom. Why? You can do it yourself. And you don't have to create the LLC in your state where you reside. If you have a virtual address that you can use, you can possibly create it in another state, right? That may have more tax advantages for you. But you would simply go to the Secretary of State's website, and it'll have the instructions there. Latasha, Latasha, McDowell, McDowell at kw.com. The KW is for Keller Williams. That's right. Thank you. Hey, Trend. How you doing, beautiful? So yes, the more taps does make more people, which more people means more questions, which means, yes, I will be on live longer. That is a very true statement. Very true statement, Giselle. Oh, love you too, Pooh. Love you too. So, yeah. If I get a one family, can I convert it to a two family without adding a mortgage? Yeah. But why purchase a one family when you can purchase up to 4? Hi, Bobby from Cambridge. What about if you already have a couple of properties and want an LLC? Then do that. Go ahead and get your LLC, and it's really quite simple. Just sell your properties to your LLC. Tax. It's kind of simple. I was about to say, but, and I stopped myself. I was going to say, but I personally would not put my personal residence in my business name. You can get an LLC file and INC file too. Yeah, I have a couple of LLCs and INCs as well. Don't want to be a landlord, but my daughter wants to own an apartment. Let me tell you how you do this, Pooh. I know you don't want to be a landlord, but there's something called a property manager. Now, I would never advocate to purchase a 4 property or any multiple properties and live in the properties and let the tenants know that I'm the landlord. Oh, heck no. You'd never get any peace. So to put that layer of security in just comfortability, I would get a property management company to actually manage the property. I honestly would not tell not one damn tenant that I was the owner of the property. If I was to see something out of order, I would call the property management company, because the last thing I would want is somebody to come knocking on my door, talk about, hey, Miss McDowell, the pipe broke at 3 a.m. in the damn morning. No, get a property management company. So make it make sense, right? That's just me. And if your daughter wants to own an apartment, then tell her go out there and buy her an apartment. Hello. Here's where we're going to stop. I'm going to go off on a tangent for a half sec. Being a parent myself, let me say this. If we do so much to keep our children from the struggle, one, they won't appreciate what they've gotten, number one. What they've been given, number one. And number two, they won't have the toughness and the tenacity that comes along with getting something for yourself. Now, in an effort for our children not to go through what we went through, we got to remember the things that we went through gave us grit, right? It gave us grit. So we cannot handicap our children. Because if you think about it, I have never seen more entitled adults than what I see now. There are some very entitled adults. Well, no, there's some very entitled adult kids. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm off my tangent. But we're not really helping our kids, right? We're not. She wants to buy a house together. She is 20, a manager, and makes and says her credit great. No. Let her do it on her own. Let her do it on her own. She'll thank you later. Who is sending me messages 10 o'clock at night through Instagram? Who's doing that? Cannot be a friend or family member. Where we do that at? Oh my gosh. You didn't say why we shouldn't have our residence. Oh, the reason why you shouldn't have your personal residence in the LLC is if the company goes belly up, then you done lost your damn house. Never risk your roof. Never. Sorry. Never risk your roof. Because remember, yourself and your business are two completely different entities, right? So, never risk the roof over your head. I mean, your business can go bankrupt and you can start another business. If your business goes bankrupt, where you sleeping? If you put in a mortgage app at 3, have you reached out to them? I would say reach out to them. I don't know how busy they are in your area, so I would say reach out to them. And can you see did you pull your credit to see if they actually pulled your credit? And also I want you to have this kind of demeanor too about the situation. We don't chase, we attract. So if it's for you, it's going to happen. Like, for real. We don't chase, we attract. And that's the God's honest truth. Trend, a P.O. box. I have a P.O. box for me to receive, like, certain stuff. But as far as my businesses, I would suggest using a virtual address. Yeah, it all depends. Because, like, I know, unfortunately for me, my two top pick lenders, when we first established our relationship, they were not exceedingly busy. Now, trying to reach them is like trying to reach me. I mean, they call me back because they know I'm batshit crazy, but I'm just saying. So, I don't know what's going on in your market. Quicken. Quicken. No, first of all, what we're not going to do is, we're not going to do Quicken. No, ma'am. And what we're also not going to do is Rocket Mortgage. We're not going to do anybody who's going to be charging us fees that they can't even explain just to say it's a fee. That's what we're not going to do. No. What you can do is, you can try, if you've already tried a bank, then, you typed too fast, poo. I was about to catch you. You can try Loan Depot. You can try Great Rate, or Synovus Bank. Don't be typing that fast. What, you got the super fast swipe? Talking about something with who? Well, damn, I just told you. Swiping all fast. Well, who? I bet you your finger had attitude when it said, well, who? No, don't ever stop working on your credit. Now, if it's something that you're about to be put in dispute, I mean, don't go doing anything that might wake the dead. So, I would say that question would directly go to be answered by your lender. I know. Y'all saw how fast that woohoo? Like, there's typically a 7-second delay. That was not a delay with that woohoo. That was no delay. It was, well, who? I don't even think that fast. That had much attitude behind it, but it's cool though. Well, that was an answer. Boom. Hey, the art. Like, I so owe you. Let me make sure I'm talking to the right person before I start apologizing for something. Did you change your thingy? Did you change your face thingy? Okay, so I so owe you a podcast. Oh, you changed your pic. Okay. What y'all around here? You have an identity crisis? Do we need to talk? Like, didn't you ask me for one? I never quite really answered, and I thought about it the other day. You climbed a mountain. Well, good for you. You're another realtor from Michigan. Yeah, I know. You know, I be having 1,000 things going on. And I literally thought about it the other day. Actually, I'm going to tell you when I thought about it. I was talking to my podcast producer, and I was like, I owe somebody a podcast. And then he was like, wait, are you cheating on me? And I was like, no, I'm spreading the love. You gave me one. I need her info again. I know you lying. You say you wish you knew me your whole life. Child boo, I'm a fool. I'm a whole fool. I ain't a half fool. I'm a whole fool. I am. All right, yeah, you got my number. Call me up. You got my number. I'm not like a half fool. I'm a whole fool, like, all the time. But side note, did y'all hear me ask my son about some nachos? Has anybody noticed any nachos did not pop up here. Did y'all notice that? I'm your sister from another mister. What book am I reading? That is a fantastic question. So, let me tell you, we'll say this. The market in Arizona is crazy right now. The market is crazy everywhere. What are you talking about? This is just like some weird, bizarro world. He busy doing what? Anyway, so that's a good question. The question was, why? Okay. So the question that I was just asked is, what am I reading? Well, I'm reading and I'm listening. So I'm reading one book and I'm listening to another book. I like to listen to books when I travel. It's like it keeps me company and engaged. So I'll tell you what I'm reading. Is this? Nope, that's not it. It's on my nightstand, but I thought I had a copy up here. Hold on for a second. I really thought I had a copy. I really thought I had a copy. It's called The Moon's Magic, right? Oh, it's kind of like we're on the same line. 1,500 home for 550. Yeah, that is crazy. That's damn crazy. I'm gonna tell y'all my crazy story. What I just did, about what house I just sold. Yeah, it's the magic of the moon. It's about manifesting and wanting to do it the full moon and all that great stuff. But you love the decor in my room. Thank you. I try to have the whole peace, serenity thing going on. But the book I am listening to, it's a book I read a long time ago, but I downloaded it to listen because I needed to be reminded of some of these things. No, I don't foresee a repeat of 0809 because of different reasons. The book that I'm listening to currently as I'm driving, who is the author? Julia! What are you doing? What? Weird. These kids get weirder and weirder every day. Okay, so on my nightstand, there's a book. It's called The Magic of the Moon. Can you bring it to me? So, but thank you. But the book that I'm re-listening to is, wait for it, The 48 Laws of Power. Oh, you're welcome. The 48 Laws of Power. I'm going to tell you something. I don't care what you do.
Here's a book about a moon that happens to be magical.
Yeah, the book about the moon that happens to be magical. So,
by chance.
Moon Magic. And this is by Diane Ahlquist. Child, I'm gonna give up on the nachos. I'll get the damn nachos myself. By the time Junior get the nachos, I'll be dead. So, yeah. But here's the thing, though. Even if you're not a reader, you're welcome, baby. Even if you're not a reader, and you're in the car, rather than listening... Oh, you get that book? Okay. Rather than listening to the jibber jabber, and what I mean is by the music, because what they got right now going on isn't really music. But listen to a book. You love law number 4, the 48 Laws of Power. I don't know if I have a favorite law yet. But listen to a book, right? Listen to some autobiographies. Those are some of my favorite types of books because success leaves breadcrumbs. Success leaves breadcrumbs, right? I'm not saying every successful person but success does leave breadcrumbs. By Florence Shin? No, but let me write that down. So, The Game of Life and How to Play It. That sounds like my kind of book. I'm gonna tell you, am I a motivational speaker? I'm gonna say I used to be. I'm gonna say I speak life unto those who need to be reminded that they're to speak life unto themselves. I haven't done it in front of an audience since about 2005. Was probably the last time I spoke in front of a large audience. When I say large, I mean like about 3,000 people. That was the last time. Yeah. And that's only because life happened. How about some girls too late to be shouting up in here? But here's another book that I recently listened to because I had an extra credit on Audible. You know how you get the credit every month when you subscribe. But here's another book that I listened to that I enjoyed so much that I actually ordered it. It's called Exactly What to Say.